Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Jason Thrifts here to share with you another week's worth of scores. These are my little shorter videos for those of you who don't have the time for the hour-long shows I do. But if you do watch hour-long shows, I'm always going to be including fresh new things in here and more tips and tricks about something I have sold. So feel free to always make sure you tune in, subscribe, and check out all my videos because they're all full of tips and tricks to help you as a thrifter find more stuff, sell more things, make more money. All right, let's get right into it. I want to thank my friend Nadine for my new graphics. These are what we call the regular scores. Now, the irregular ones will be the music ones at the end. So I'm breaking out the segments into regular scores and music scores. All right, so let's kick it off right away with regular scores. Now, some of the scores I'm going to show you are not always going to be high ticket dollar items. They're going to be there's going to be a reason I'm sharing. These FedEx socks were given to us free at one of the eBay opens in our swag bag. I had no use for them. I saw them laying on a shelf that they've been there for a year, maybe two. I'm not sure which eBay open, but $16. It was a free item in my swag bag plus shipping. So, always look for what do I have in this hand that can turn into cash in this hand. All right, again, not a huge sale, but I bought two of these dresses at the exact same time about 6 years ago. Same style, different color setup. The first one sold right away, and since it's been 6 years, this one didn't sell. But I had it cross-posted on 5 platforms, and I finally got an offer last night on Poshmark of $18. So yay, I sold my second thing on Poshmark, and B, cross-posting helps. But the big key is once you sell it on one platform, immediately you must go to your other platforms and get them removed so you don't sell it again. All right. All right. I love co-branded stuff. So this is a Le Sport Sac, which is a brand of purses and bags. Barbie. Le Sport Sac has started to do a lot of co-branded stuff, or as they would say, licensed stuff. So here's a Barbie. What did I pay for Barbie? I paid $20 for Barbie and sold it for $65. Oh yeah. Someone said, hey, can you go back to doing your Thrift Hunter stuff? So I spent $66 and I hope to turn all these things into $535. Here's a little clue. They did. All right. So just to show you a few other Le Sport Sacs, here is Mickey and Minnie. These next two aren't my sales, but just to show you, they do co-brand stuff. So I sold the Barbie one. Here's a Mickey and Minnie one that sold for $140. And here's a Snoopy one, Peanuts, that sold for $80. So keep your eyes out if you don't want to grab the regular sports sacks, but those are also good to flip. But the co-branded ones are easier to flip, obviously, because you've got Snoopy, you've got Peanuts, you've got Disney, you've got Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Barbie, all that stuff. So keep your eyes open for that. All right, so this was last December when we could travel around the country, and my wife and I were in a thrift store in New York City called Housing Works. They're all over the city, and this was a shelf. Other than these dishes, everything else was Christmas. It was all these ornaments, and whoever put this there thought this snow globe was a Christmas thing because it's a snow globe. Nope, it is a Back to the Future snow globe from the Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios. It was a whopping $8, and I sold it last week for $100 on eBay. Now, I do know that eBay says we would like white backgrounds on our items. I typically do a very light gray background, but I thought this light blue made the pop so much better. So I was very excited about this light blue, and it sold within about maybe less than a week from being listed, so $100. Others have sold for a little bit more. It has been a slow week, and the potential buyer and I were going back and forth, counter offering each other. He got to $100. It was a slow week. $8 into $100. Yes, I will take it. All right, I sold the Ouija board. Woohoo! Now, if you're afraid of Ouija boards, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. You don't really open the portal to hell. The cardboard used on this one is the same cardboard used in a Monopoly board. Monopoly board does not open the portal to hell, neither does a Ouija board. This is the 1992 version. As you can see, it didn't sell for a ton. It did sell for $24, and super excited. It went to Romania, which, if you don't know, is the birthplace of Vlad the Impaler. If you don't know who that is, that's who Dracula is based off of. So I'm super excited that a Ouija board went to Romania. Maybe they're going to try and summon up Vlad the Impaler. But what I wanted to show you is old Ouija boards. Wood Ouija boards go for a lot of money. So if you're any place ever sourcing and they have a wood Ouija board and you're afraid of it, call your closest friend that also does this. Have them come pick it up for you. $557. Now, I don't want to grab just random strangers' listings and beat them up, but I do want to show you an example of what not to do. As you can see, they were writing that this was a J.M. Simmons. See how it goes J.M. Simmons with no spaces? That has now become one word. So the only person that would help find this, if a person typed J.M. Simmons, all one word. Same with cat, comma, witch, comma, whirling. That became one word too. You need spaces. You don't need punctuation. Get rid of any unnecessary punctuation out of your titles and make sure there are spaces between words. Because cat, comma, witch, comma, whirling, no one's looking for that word. Okay. And that was $557. Here's another one, a little more sparse, sold for $599. Even older ones have sold for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Ouija boards can bring you a lot of money. Don't be afraid. Enjoy the cash. All right, now it's time for my music scores of the week. Let's start with cassettes. I love flipping cassettes. If you're not flipping cassettes, you're missing out. All right, this is Metallica, the 598 EP Garage Days revisited. An old one would sell for more. This was a re-release a year or two ago. So it's easily and kind of readily available, but I only paid $1 for it in a collection, and I did sell it for $11. Not a huge return, but a return nonetheless. Speaking of dollar cassettes, Fabulous is a rapper. And again, not a huge return, but I think I paid either 75 cents or $1 for this. And I sold it for $16. All right, so check this out. This is how the world works in mysterious circles. So I sold this used Lost in Space soundtrack. And I have a helper that works Monday through Friday in the mornings. Her name is Kelly. And so Kelly, when I came into the office, she had 2 Lost in Space soundtracks sitting on the shipping table. I go, why'd you grab both? And she said, well, I wasn't sure. I knew I was grabbing Lost in Space. I wasn't sure if I was grabbing the used one or the new one because I had one of each. And so she said, I figured I would just bring them both to the shipping table, read the shipping order from Amazon, determine which one it was, and it was the used one. So then she put the new one back. So the used one sold for $28. Now I had this, the new and the used, both listed for about, 4 or 5 months on Amazon. She puts the new one back. The next day, I sold the new one. Now, I don't know what happened in the universe that made people yearn for the old Lost in Space music. Haven't a clue, but it was so weird that she pulled both and then they both sold. So I actually paid less for the sealed one, $6, and sold it for way more, obviously, $49. Soundtracks is one of the sections you really want to concentrate on when you're flipping CDs. All right, if you watch my Thursday night show, Thrifty Business, this was one of my duds. I really, this is Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a great soundtrack. Have it on vinyl. The vinyl was in pretty good shape, very good plus. And no one had ever made an offer. I rejuvenated the listing last month. It had been listed for over 16 months. I rejuvenated it last month. I think I changed the title and the price a little bit, gave it a new listing, and it sold this month for $28. So sometimes they take a while, but everything definitely sells. But even better, how about this Danny Elfman Solos LP? Now, you might not know Danny by his name, Danny, but you might know him by the fact that he's the lead singer of Oingo Boingo, Weird Science, Going to a Dead Man's Party, and he's been one of the major scorers of movies in the last 20 years. Batman Returns, I think, was one of his, or Batman Forever. But he's done a bunch of scores for movies. Danny is very famous, an incredible musician. Just sold his solo LP on vinyl here, obviously, $78. But even better, and we'll end on this one, All That Remains. Now, I vaguely know the band. If they were standing in front of me, I wouldn't know them. If I heard their music, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's All That Remains. But I did find this record at my local record store used for $15. $15. And it was listed for July 6th, a week. less than a week, and it's sold for $102. So people often say, you can't source out of a record store. They know what they're doing to a point, but don't forget, their only clientele is who's standing in front of them, who walks through that door locally. My clientele, because I offer worldwide shipping, is the entire world. Now, this did stay domestically, but that was a nice, quick flip of a $15 investment. Now, if you want to learn more about flipping stuff, I have a lot of courses. My most recent one is Flipping CDs. Number 2, all new content, almost 3 hours long, teaching you how to source CDs, how to make the most money, how to do the best research. Head over to flippingcds.com, and that will get you. Oh, there it is. There's my little scroll. That'll get you all into all the web classes that I have. And coming up in the nearer future, not super close, but near, I just purchased 2,500 CDs. And my friend said, why are you looking so upset with this great score? I go, I was trying to look tough. Did I look upset? But these are 2,500 CDs. I paid 50 cents a piece for. And on the right side of the picture, so over my left shoulder, those are all promo CD singles from like the 90s and early 2000s. That's the bulk of the worth right there. When I'm all done with this is going to be anywhere from about $14,000 to $20,000 in sales. And so there's going to be a lot of lessons in here. Of course, what to look for and what to source and what to sort out and what to skip. But the way I cut the deal was a good lesson. How I'm going to sell it's a good lesson. So down the road a piece, once I get a good amount of these sold, I will be sharing with you all of that. We pulled 23 to start working on. And in those first 23 we pulled, there were 2 that were worth $100 each, one that was worth 50, a couple that were worth like, 8 or 10. But the average sale price on those first 23 would be $21. So if that average sales price holds true to the 1,000 that are promo singles, 1,000 times 21, pretty easy math. Going to be an amazing score. So there are amazing scores out there in music to be had. I like to teach you those. I also like to do some YouTube shows. So on Thursday nights, I have my Thrifty Business show. So tune in on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. It's a bunch of segments like Scores of the Week, some of the things you saw today, Duds of the Week, shipping tips, thrifting tips. And then we always have a guest that will help enhance your selling. And then on Sunday, I do a show with my mother called Selling Past Your Expiration Date, Being Thrifty Over 50. And that's Sunday nights at 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. Those are both on YouTube. So do me a favor, subscribe down below, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week with my next round of Scores of the Week.